Hello to my subscribers, my name is Robyn. I'm a channeler and a tarot reader, and in this video we asked Unnakasunja 4 questions. 2 of them came from one of our subscribers, and the questions are: how can we deal with jealousy? It seems like such a painful and shameful emotion. The other question was, how do we make use of how we move from overuse of our logical minds into trusting the unknown. Another question was, we are experiencing solar flares. What impact does this have on the individual as well as a collective? And how can an individual connect with their spiritual guides? So we asked Unnakasunja those questions in that order. You can go to the timestamp below to click on the particular question you want to know Unnakasunja's perspective on. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it. Of course, if you would like to pose a question to Unnakasunja, write it in the comments box below, and we'll find the time to try and ask Unnakasunja those questions. Also, just to let you know that my beautiful deck, my beautiful tarot deck, is now available for sale. Information is again in the description box below, the link to the site to purchase it online. It's Telepathic Tarot, and it comes in a little velvet bag and lots of pretty pictures that I spent 2 years painting in oil paint. So if you're interested in that, check that out. And of course, if you would like a personal reading, be it a channeling or a tarot session, check out my website, robynstain.com. Again, information in the description box below. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Wise within light, all connecting, combined within soul, all levels that we connect within command us we love, realizing that it is teleconnecting now. In the mind within love, you're working within love. Ethical ages combine, our celebrations is working. When you ask within light to commence with the sound of jealousy that you ask for now, we do emit a certain collaboration within the all light to perceive of this within the value that you do ask. We can find within light that jealousy is an aspect of apparition that does exist within many of your society, to do with how you investigate yourselves in comparison to others. It is working to format ideologies of what someone can achieve and what they feel limit to that which they ask for. Therefore, jealousy as an aspiration does arrive forth from within the realms of that which feels limited to the purpose of investigating as to why someone does express this nature. Now, the aspect of jealousy to a degree is that to do with distinguishing one from another, separation of field in accordance to that which you are purporting to understand as equilibrium and interconnection. Therefore, it does come to light when one does feel separated, divided by another, and therefore feeling within themselves limited by the extent of which they can create. The emotion aspect of jealousy does arrive from the pit of one's stomach, so to speak, in activating a sense of discord in connection to their own divinity, thus portraying within their reality what is not suitable to their distinguishing formats of how they view their own reality. Therefore, the aspect of jealousy can feel like the churning of the stomach in the injustice of their own abbreviations of life, whereas it is available to them. Does this understand with me?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Unnakasunja.
Collect all light. It is wise, we would say, that when a person does feel the extremities of discordance within the pit of their stomach as they peer out of their reality into another's and deem that as unfit for them, to learn within the self as to how this can be overridden by joyous celebration of another. While this may seem to be what you would deem of as difficult, yes, it is the bridging gap in order to convey and to understand that another person's achievements, successes, and joy is also available to be joyously infused within yourself. Therefore, even though the act of jealousy is a separation, to override these aspects of it is to turn it within joy into feeling the celebration of that of another. This will entitle you to feel and share the energetics to a higher value to the degree that your vibrations will match these aspects into something that you can share within yourself. Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Our light. We are learning colors now within love. There are ways to focus the collective mind within yourself. When those do choose to focus within their own realities, they are working to streamline their focal point separate to that of a collective ideology. The logical mind, as you see fit, the overuse of it, is to some degree the absorption of a collective field within your sphere. Therefore, the logical mind is difficult to navigate because it is a collection of multiple features within the field. What we mean by this is the logical mind is attempting to problem solve and unravel certain understandings that is not necessarily the individuals alone, and therefore the expression of a wide variety around within the environment that is attempting to problem solve or to make sense of certain changes or fields within the reality. We would say the logical mind as such is a heavier, greater aspect of a collective field more so than the individual. The individual experiences a loss to do with their own unique voice when absorbing too much of the greater field. And while the greater field is a welcoming aspect within the general consensus and collective and consciousness, it also tends to deviate from the individual's unique standpoint. Yes?
Oh, yes.
Therefore, to organize one's attention as such as to be in awareness of the differences between the importance of the self-recognition versus the general collective of a logical mind. This would be the first step into understanding the difference between logic and your unique voice. As one investigates the unique voice of oneself without falling into the pitfalls of conformity, one could attempt then to learn new ways and unique proportions of one's personality into that which has not been created as a general consensus. The unknown, so to speak, yes, to trust in the unknown, so to speak, is to indeed trust in your unique voice, disregarding the general consensus, however enjoying the flavors that it does create a contrast, so to speak, yes? So, we would say, to understand the difference between the logical mind as a larger playing field and your unique voice. To enable yourself to trust more in your unique voice is to understand where the compartments lie. As you seek to investigate the unknown, one could be surprised by new innovations your own personality or perspective does reveal to you. In order to trust is to recognize that the general consensus, the general logical mind, has already been achieved, so to speak, by multiple fields. Therefore, it is not a problem for you yourself to expose, yes? Not a problem for you to unravel, because the general collective of the larger logical mind has already been achieved to some degree. However, it is still, yes, a particular flavoring.
That's right.
Therefore, to investigate your own is to understand the difference, to move forward into expelling a sense of creativity. Creativity, as a definition, is to create something that has not been achieved before. To create something that has not been flavored by personal friction, yes, by personal derivative of definition from a one perceived point, and thus to create it. This is what creativity is, and therefore we celebrate all creation, yes? So, to see the unknown, yes, as the blank piece of paper by which to apply the paintbrush is perhaps a better understanding of what the unknown could be, and therefore can create a sense of joy and anticipation and innovation, as opposed to that which has already been set for you.
I see.
Does this understand within you, or would you prefer us to go deeper?
I would like a little more depth. I do understand what you've said so far, but is there a simpler way in trusting the unknown?
Telepath love. Now, to question the trust of the unknown is to question the definition of trust itself. Yes? Trust itself is, by definition, to choose a positive reaction from something that has no bearing of weight in a negative or positive field. Therefore, the thing that one does apply their trust to does have a neutral point. Yes? It is deemed neither good nor bad. Yes? The aspect of trust is a choice one makes into a positive, higher vibrational field. This is, in a sense, what trust is, yes?
Yes.
So, therefore, to trust in the unknown is to simply choose a better version, yes, based on the unknown. It is to choose a positive experience from an uncertainty.
Yes.
Yes? It is simply to choose to be creative and to therefore, when one embeds himself in the vibration of trust, yes, as an energetics, yes, they are simply dancing with it. They are fusing with it. They are working with the energy, yes? It is not separate from them, where you say, I am here. That trust mechanism is at the bottom of the garden, and I must go to the bottom of the garden in order for me to experience trust. No, no, no. Yes? If trust is the innovation of creativity to a positive light, one must dance with it. One must embrace themselves in the vibration of working and enjoying the creativity that comes with it, without expecting it to see it as so, but to learn and to know that it is of higher value to go down a particular pathway that has not been done before, yes, with a higher level of excitement of the creative measure. Understand that when the artist does begin the painting, yes, it is always the journey as opposed to the end product that is infused more in the excitement of themselves. So therefore, to see not trust as a separate form from you, but to embed yourself in the energetics of the journey of it, to blend within it creativity and a positive mindset, is to trust in the unknown. Yes?
Thank you.
Yes. Inner mind. Take a languages combine all light love with Almighty within, in the soul within. Elevating celebrations of light within love, Almighty. You are sucking energies with light within sound now. In the mind you commence. Solar flares do elaborate pleasantly within your field as higher levels of light energy and propulsion, yes, of magnitude does concert itself with different poses within your current environment, picking up and reacting with certain magnetic fields as it does propel forward. These are creating skylights that are, in your definition, very beautiful to see, but it is the emission of color and higher vibration that is being expelled upon your plateau from the Holy Sun, yes, in loving embrace of Mother Gaia as you would see fit. It is creating a balancing act of the propulsions within the core of Mother Gaia that are tending to erupt at this time. What it is doing is housing this energetics. It is also being assisted by many of your extraterrestrials as you would see it fit, or spiritual formats as you do perceive it so, to embrace more of a hovering encounter, to attend to house the disturbances and vibrational shepherds of the earth plateau. Yes?
Yes.
So therefore, it is in loving embrace that these do arise. There is also the symbolic aspect of these shards of color in light that on a physical conscious level, for those who do not perceive the spiritual path, to be reawakened with themselves in their higher formations, meaning it is igniting within them an opening gateway to question the more of who they are at a very superficial level, so to speak, yes, on a aesthetic level. On an individual level, it does harbor certain what you would say of as invisible energetics that are pulsating at a faster speed and blending into the rhythms of the Merkaba in order to heighten these awakenings, so to speak. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. And this is happening on an individual level. As a collective level, the focus being brought to the skies, yes, is enabling masses to bring their attention to what is connected to them from a higher perspective. Yes?
Yes.
It is bringing their attention to the skies. And there may be those who are hovering within the skies who wish to say hello. Yes? However, the energetics is creating faster rhythms within the energetical structure of Mother Earth as well as the individual. Yes?
Yes.
Would you prefer more within this light?
No, I think you've covered that quite well. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes. So it's good. It's all
Indeed.
good. Yes.
Indeed. Of course, yes.
Simply put, yes.
Yes. Yes. It is also a great spectrum of a rainbow within the skies.
Yes.
Yes. Hello guys, with Light Almighty comments. You are learning love within, soul within light. Mental cabans within all light is available with light in yours. As you ask with this, you ask now within levels. How is it possible to make the contact with the spirit of that which you are and connected to you? We say within your light, it is always available to you. So, yes, you are asking within us. When can I speak with my spiritual guides? How can I react and integrate more collectively, more consciously, more awareness of them? Yes? We would say that yes, to question it, to ask for it, is bringing it closer within your field. However, the variations of how one does communicate and connect with the spiritual guides does depend on the person's individual personality, yes, because the spiritual guides are connected to that format of you, yes. Therefore, it would be very different for many people. For those, there are those who do communicate with their spiritual guides based on certain symbolisms that they do see in the reality. For example, repetition, yes? When repetition through objects or situations do become more apparent within their field, they can therefore discuss this nature within themselves and recognize it as certain guidances that are speaking within them. There are others who are more on a vibrational, audible level who do hear certain sounds that do come into their mind that is not of their own voice, yes? And we mean this in a high denominational field as opposed to those who are experiencing mental disability, yes? There are those who can hear certain words, key words, within their mind, which is a separate voice from their normal egoic voice, yes? And they relay it so, and therefore interact with it so. There are those who do have a sensitivities to certain vibrational fields, for example, changes in temperature or climate within their immediate surroundings, to give assistance as to whether something feels fit or unfit. Generally speaking, the cold is an aversion to the current circumstance, and the warmness is a celebration to what is, yes? And these could also be perceived and interpreted. Of course, there is also what Robyn does with the channeling, and there are many forms of channeling that one could do in order to have a more direct dialogue with one's spiritual guides. There is also what you would say of as the regression hypnosis, to connect and be introduced more formally if this is your preference. Yes, there is also changes within your reality that do call upon different guidance systems to enter in, and one may not always perceive the spiritual guide emanating as a physical person in a particular moment of a situation that they do need their expertise. What we are meaning by this is, on some occasions, spiritual guides can emanate and project into physical form for a short period of time to offer words of wisdom, yes, or a hug, so to speak, yes, in something that is more visible to those awareness, yes. So there are many ways, and it is dependent on a person's belief system, how they have been brought up to believe what is perceived as normal and what is perceived as supernatural to a degree, yes? And whichever involves more of an understanding of it different to the normal behaviors does tend to ignite an understanding of this is something different, this is something special, and therefore I am paying more attention to it. Yes?
So you cannot really differentiate between your higher self and a spiritual guide, who are two different entities.
To some degree, yes, to some degree, no. Now understand that within your light, yes, and those that you are asking on behalf of, yes, do have what you would explain of as a higher self, yes, a soul, so to speak, yes. However, there are higher versions of this to do with what you would understand of as of an oversoul. Therefore, the spiritual guide, yes, could be part of the oversoul that's connected to your higher self. Yes? And therefore but a cousin, so to speak. Yes? So for some people it is easier to pertain within themselves the differences of your higher self versus that which is more of a physical attribute and assistance within the physical realm. Yes? The information that one receives from their higher self, yes, does tend to have a certain allegiance to the soul's path, which may find the person not wishing or willing to experience due to certain fears of that which must be overcome and achieved upon, yes. And in many cases, the higher self will embed certain excavations and adventure forward within this, and the spiritual guides will be the assistants in graduating that forward.
Oh, I see.
Yes, to some degree. We
Yes.
cannot speak for all,
Yes.
but generally speaking, the assistance of spiritual aspects within your light is that of a comfort. Yes, sometimes a higher mind, yes, is connecting you to that which feels uncomfortable, yes, because it is in alignment within the soul's path. However, the assistance that you do receive upon your guidance do tend to give you a nudge in a particular direction to enable you to take an easier passage.
Thank you, Unnakasunja.
Yes.